All goes Pete Tong. And we're on. Cheers for coming on, dude.
No, thanks for having us, mate. I'm glad you got in touch.
Hopefully, mate, you've got some breeze where you are.
I've jockeyed position about 9 times trying to find some breeze. I've opened 3 other windows on the other side of the house just trying to get some fresh air in here.
Mate, I'm literally... Where I record in my shed, also known as the Shedio, and I'm basically sat in a sauna.
Sweat box.
So if I start leaking, you'll be like, what's going on there?
I'll be the bear with doing it, mate. Don't worry.
It is what it is.
How's life, mate? You good?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're all good. Good news for us is that Mrs. can finally go back to work. She's a hairdresser. So as of, I think, the 6th, she's back in work, mate. So happy days. Just trying to deal with those 2 monsters I've got in the house. Fucking kids, mate. This morning,
easy, mate,
pain in the ass.
It's not easy. They said have kids, it'll be fun.
Fuck that. Nah, to be fair, they've been really good throughout this lockdown, and it's just today they're just annoying each other.
It's a hard time for them as well, mate. I mean, I've got a little girl, and the missus got 2 little boys, and they're great when they're getting on in that. But I think obviously just being out of school and not having that structure and routine, mate. I mean, us as grown adults are the same. I'm exactly the same. I need some structure and routine in my life, otherwise I start going crackers, mate. Never mind 6 to 8 year olds, like. So yeah, I do feel for them in a way, like. Roll on September when they go back to school as well.
Yeah, can't wait to drop kick them back into school. Get in there, you. Definitely. Yeah, I've been quite lucky because my regular human job is still going. I do security for quite a big site, so I've still been going to work. So I've had my routine, like, and obviously a big thing for you, obviously the gyms being sort of shut off and what have you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Don't get us wrong. I mean, I know there's a lot of negativity around it at the minute, and there's a lot of people upset that they're closed, and everyone's threatened because it's that place where you can just go and get your training done. But in all honesty, mate, I mean, especially when the weather's been how it has been this past couple of months, I've enjoyed getting outside and doing something.
Yeah, something different, innit? I actually quite prefer. I haven't done it for a few months now since this fucking lockdown. I do the odd boot camp session with a mate of mine, Steve. He's a former army PTI. He set up this thing, and he just asked me if I could help out every now and then. I was like, yeah, no problem. And it's just nice being outdoors doing stuff, especially when the weather's like this. When it's pissing down with rain, I can understand people going, yeah, of course, mate, yeah. But get outside. It's fucking lovely out there. You get a proper sweat on, burn more calories.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Like the boot camp stuff and the kind of stuff I do, mate, it's ideal doing it outdoors. I mean, it's different when you want to get your weights cracked and you need big machines and whatever else. Yeah. I can understand the struggle, like, but ticking by, mate, getting on. I think everybody's found a new avenue that they've realised they can keep them gains and then keep the growth going with body weight stuff and just training normally.
Yeah, I think there's a huge thing, especially as your little company sort of deals with the mental health aspect of fitness as well is key. And when you're stuck inside, you're locked down, your head starts playing tricks on you and things like that. So
there's a huge part.
Being able to stay physically active is a huge thing, even if you're just going for a fucking walk.
Yeah, that's all it is, mate. Getting out from them 4 walls. And I know when this first started and everybody was kind of confined to one workout a day and you could only leave the house and for certain amounts of time and that, and it definitely a struggle, mate. And I think if there's definitely some people who haven't gone into this lockdown with some sort of mental health issues are certainly coming out the other end of it, mate. Because there's a lot of people out there struggling right now, and it's brutal to see and brutal to watch. But yeah, I mean, the fitness, as we all know now these days, mate, it plays a huge part in your mental health and your mental fitness. So yeah, like you say, just getting out for a walk and just doing tiny bits, mate. Just doing whatever you can, as much as you can, is the key, really. And it's getting out and having that escape and having that little therapy session is exactly what I call it.
That's what I used to call it as well. When I first started showing a few symptoms that I was depressed and what have you, I used to go and just lift heavy shit down the gym. I used to just go and pick it up and just go thrash the weights. I'd literally, because I was that guy that would love to put a status up. By the way, I'm in the gym, so you know. And mine would be off to my therapy session. And the most people were like, I didn't realise you go to therapy. No, it's not that type of therapy. I have been to that type of therapy, but this is my therapy. This is where I can go and hit the punch bag for fucking 25 minutes plus, just letting out those stresses, that anger, the
Sometimes that's all it
anxiety.
is. It's
all
just
that
getting
thing.
that frustration and anger out of you, isn't it, really? Which you sometimes can't do sat in a room with somebody else or sat in a room with a group of people. Sometimes it is the best form of therapy out there. Just going out and absolutely thrashing yourself, or lifting heavy shit, or like you say, smashing into a punch bag for half an hour.
Yeah, it was one of my little mottos I used to say to the boot campers when I was doing it. I was like, "You're going to hate me for the hour that I'm training you, but I can guarantee you're going to thank me at the end of it."
Yeah, of course, mate.
And
It's
they're
the
like,
same with these circuits that I do when I take people through them. Obviously, it's been a bit different now with this lockdown, but taking people through them in the gym and getting people earning the t-shirts, and I hope to pick it all back up where I left off when this all eases finally, and we do get the new normal back, whatever it may be, when the gyms do open again. Taking people through their paces and showing them that they have got another level and there is another gear in there hidden away. And like you say, they're not going to enjoy it when they're doing it, but certainly come the end of it or 10 minutes later when it's finished, they certainly do get up and think, that's great.
yeah, 100%. And having that someone there to push you a little bit is always good. And
massive part of it, mate.
That's one of my things, because where I train, luckily for me, it's quite a cheap little gym. So my father-in-law works over at a Waitrose distribution center, and he's really into his fitness. And being the general manager, he was like, well, I can implicate fucking something here for the staff. So he built it's a decent gym. It's got all the equipment you need, everything like that. It's actually really, if you went to that and you'd be like, oh, that's like a normal fucking gym.
Yeah.
And because I'm because I used to work there when I first left the military, and because I'm family, I get the gym for like £10.
Sweet.
So I go there, but then I've got nobody that trains similar to me. There's nobody on the same sort of shift pattern that I'm on, so I got to train on my own. So I have to try and motivate myself, which
still, mate, it is. It's
most of the time I'm all right at, because I'll set myself a goal, like I want to beat my deadlift or something like that. Or a few like 2 years ago, I was training for one of those white collar events, so I literally put myself into my own fight camp. Did all that. If I've got a goal, I'll train like the best.
It's easier when you've got an end goal, isn't it? Definitely.
If I don't set myself a goal, I'll go in there. I'll do 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm like, fucking bored now. But if I have some, like my brother's was quite a decent trainer. His gym went under, unfortunately. He's now a chef. But when I used to go to his gym, fuck me. I don't know if it was because I was his brother and he used to make it that much harder when I was there, but he would fucking beast me. He would absolutely destroy me, especially on those Aerodynes. I'd never used one before until I went round to his.
Honking.
Never been so ill.
Yeah, they got them. They're gopping them. Satan's machines. But yeah, no, I'm exactly the same, mate. I think I always train hard, or what I think's hard for me, unless I've got a niggle or an injury. But if I've got someone there with us, and it's either to push them on or them to push me on and push each other on, it definitely another level I even find in myself. Especially when it's a kind of competition and you're doing little rounds for time, or it's a circuit for time, or whatever else. I find another gear that I don't even know I've got myself sometimes, and it's just a little bit of extra motivation for yourself.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a push. I think that's a huge thing with fitness and mental health, is having those goals. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, because sometimes if you don't meet your goals, you're like, for fuck's sake,
put you in a bit of a hole. Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, you smash through it, and you even if you just miss out, you're like, oh, I did a fucking good job on this one.
I think if you've got a goal over if you're talking a week or so, then you're not going to really ever achieve much. But if you're looking at something in long weeks and months, regardless if you smash that goal that you set yourself, if you're training hard, you're going to see a massive difference in yourself, both physically and mentally, by the end of that. Whether you hit your goal or you hit your PB or you hit that record that you wanted to hit, you should never really have any negative to take away from that, in my opinion, because you've smashed yourself. And as long as you can get to the other end of that and say you give 110% for that duration, you're a fucking hero in my eyes, like you are.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people, not so much set themselves up to fail, but they see. I heard this on a few podcasts recently. How crazy the fitness industry can be with these fitness models and things like that, and they've got these physiques that they've obviously got good genetics as well. So you're like, Jesus Christ,
These guys have probably got nutritionists paid for and dietitians and whatever else. It's not that, to me anyway. It isn't reality. I mean, I've always said training and fitness, you've got to be consistent with it. It can't be something that you just pick up and leave and pick up and leave and pick up and leave. If that's your lifestyle and that's your lifestyle, you've got to be consistent with it all. I mean, I'm up and down, especially my body weight and how I look and how I appear. December, January, when I was abroad there in Barbados, Christmas, you could have probably put me on an Instagram page and said I was a fitness model, because I looked good at the time, because my diet was really strict, my training was crazy, and I just really started this page up and this club up. So I was hammering the circuits 2-3 times a day, and I was always training with somebody, so I was always taking other people through it. So I did it. I looked amazing, but I was actually hanging out my arse. People were saying, like the lads were saying, I was like, "Well, you got to do another one." I was like, I've got to get the content up. I've got to get this done. I've got that done. I mean, my body's physically broken to the point I got to January and my back finally gave out again. And I've been struggling with that niggle since. Now, I don't look anything like I do now, or did not then, as I do now, compared to 6 months ago, because I've been home now. I've been home 6-7 weeks since I finished in London. I did the initial lockdown for the coronavirus down there for the 6 weeks. And then I came home, and I continued to train as best I could, but I was poorly for a couple of weeks down there at the beginning. Back issues again, just not having the kit and equipment, because we were working out with a kind of car park that was underground, really. So doing as best I could with the kit we had, and the odd run. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I've always stayed consistent with my training. But I think unless you've got a nutritionist and a dietitian and a doctor and whatever else on site 24/7 with you, saying you need to do this now, you need to eat this now, you need to, you can't eat this, you need to make sure you have this. It's impossible, man. And people they look at these guys and girls on model pages and magazines and Instagram and Facebook, whatever else, man. And to me, anyway, it's just not reality.
I think
they can't.
The big one is definitely it's definitely the fitness chicks. I think the big one, because I think a lot of women will see them and think, oh, I could do that, and then. Yes, it is obtainable. Like you said, you've got to be really strict. You've got to have all these things set in place. But I think, obviously, I'm a bloke, so I scroll through a little. I'm like, fucking hell, fair play. But then you look at what they're training, and it's literally just legs and ass. It's like, as long as you've got
lift heavy,
as long as you've got a decent ass, nice legs, put a thong on, stick your ass out, you're going to get fucking
3 million
thousands of followers and likes. And unfortunately, that's what seems to be driving the fitness industry is at the minute. It's not the content itself; it's those likes on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I tried that when I set this up. I came home. I did look good, and I tried on the women's clothes, and I put the chicks' Gym Self Armors Club vests on. Tried to get some more followers on the page. It doesn't work for the men. It must just be a women thing.
Must be. You have to get yourself a few chicks to do it, or just get Skirmy to do it.
He got through the roof.
He was like that at school as well.
Oh mate, he's a couple of years another animal. Him.
Yeah, he's a couple of years below me at school, and he was massive at school anyway. He was
top
like I'm short. I no qualms in fucking saying I'm 5'6", and I'm built like a fucking wardrobe. I'm perfectly square. A few rolls at the minute, but whatever.
We all have that.
I used to look at Skirk because I used to take his year at basketball. I was the basketball coach, which is quite funny being 5'6". That was my little thing at school. I was really good at basketball, and he was in the team, and I was like, "You're fucking ginormous." Yeah. And then seeing him play rugby as well, I was like, "You're something else, Skirmy." And then I saw him doing a few of those fitness, bodybuilding stuff and things like that. I was like, "You're an absolute machine. You're unreal."
He's got. He's back on it at the minute, actually.
Else.
Yeah, he is. He's like he's been sculpted out of stone. He kept having a go at me because I kept fattening him up in Barbados when we were abroad. And I'd shout through, "I'm having some cake, mate. Do you want some?" "Oh, well, if you're having some, we'll train it off tomorrow." And I'd just give him some. And I got him fat over 6 weeks in Barbados, and he's never forgive us. Never forgive us. But no, he's right back on it now, mate. He's got a nutritionist, and he's got an online coach and that he's going through with at the minute. Yeah. and he's ginorcopod, mate. He's got 2 inches on me. I'm 6'4", so he's easy 6'5", 6'6", and he's built like 3 of me. And I'm not a small bloke. He's massive.
He's ridiculous, isn't he?
He is another beast.
He's one of those annoying ones though, where he's got semi-decent hair as well.
He's a good looking lad, isn't he?
He's packing.
He's definitely packing.
It's like, fuck's sake, is there anything wrong with you?
No.
It's got to be something. He's got to have
I'll find
something
it one day. I've only known Ollie. I've known him now since the start of this job, really. A lot of mutual friends in common from the Corps and that who know him from various CP jobs and that on the circuit. Brilliant lad. But yeah, I mean, you can't fault the bloke at all. There's nothing. I've looked
because he's nice as well. It's not like he's a dickhead.
I know he's a pain in the ass. He's just a top lad, top draw, mate. I'm glad he's on the team. He's really good lad.
But he sort of steered me towards you guys. I saw you guys come up on Instagram or whatever, and obviously did a follow. And I saw Ollie on there, and I was like, I'll just ping him a little message, see what's going on. And he was telling me the idea behind it, how you're a former Marine and what have you. And I was like, fucking hell, fair play. It's always makes me feel good that there's other people out there doing more for mental health, whether it's through fitness or through a podcast or through their own avenues, a bit like veteran trees. They're doing all that stuff.
Dan's doing good things, mate.
He's doing a good thing,
he's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it at the minute, mate. He's doing the Gym Self Harmers Club logo with the hashtag on one side and the commando tag on the other side.
Yeah,
I've seen the one that he's knocked up for you. Like
that's our original logo. That was the original one. Yeah, he's fucking brilliant. I think
he is, mate.
I'd love to have
what he can do with his hands.
I'd love to have some sort of talent like that.
I know. I'm the same. I think mine's me working out and then my back goes, so it's clearly not that either.
Yeah. Oh fucking hell! But yeah, I only found out today. I don't know if you knew this. It's actually Veterans Day.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen a few posts on it today. I to be honest, and I feel shit for saying it. Being a veteran and being ex-boot, but I didn't have a clue.
I had no idea. It was only because
advertised, or
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I haven't seen it anywhere.
The only way I found out was through my beloved RAF regiment, Big Three. Just saying.
Right.
Who said that? They tagged me in a post with the podcast and basically my backstory of why I started it, and I was like, oh fucking hell. So I sent him a message. I went, oh cheers for that. And he went, well, we got to support the veterans. It's Veterans Day. And I went, is it? I knew it was Armed Forces Week.
Yeah, Armed Forces Week started on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was Armed Forces Day on Saturday, but I was like, fucking hell. But not enough is said about it.
No, like, you're absolutely right, mate.
Over in the States, massive.
Oh, mate, yeah. I did when I first left the Corps, I went out to Florida, and we did a charity dive with a company called Depth Therapy. Yeah. And we took some lads out with Wounded Warriors, and we met up with, with Health for Heroes, and met up with Wounded Warriors out there, which is the Yank counterpart, really. And you've never, ever witnessed anything like it. The love they have for their veterans and for their serving soldiers, mate. The patriotism in that is out there, to the extent where we would. It was a diving thing. It was about, I guess in a way, mental health as well for the lads. It was showing them some of these guys had arms off, legs off, and it was that weightlessness in the water that they have when they're diving and free diving and diving with tanks and stuff. They have this just release, and honestly, the results at the end of it were fantastic after 2 weeks of diving. Everybody loved it. But we were on the local radios out in Florida Keys in the mornings before we were diving. And then every lunch and every evening we would go to these different locations for the barbecues and for evening meals and whatever else. And everything we did, there was always well over 60, 70 people there. We did the burning of the US flag, which is one of the rituals out there after 50 years of service that the flag's been in. And it was this massive thing, and there was a huge open area field with picnic tables that laid out. And there was hundreds and hundreds of people turned there for it. And we were part of it, and little girls waving Union Jacks and stuff, man, and coming up and thanking you for your service and that. It's like proper teary-eyed stuff, mate. It's ridiculous. And the only place I've ever really came across that in the UK is a place like Wootton Bassett, where the lads fly back into and they get driven through when they've unfortunately made it home with us. It's the only real time that you you kind of see it. And out there, mate, it's as soon as you see you're a squaddy or a soldier or ex-forces or whatever, mate, they're on you, and they can't get enough of it. It's brilliant.
It's something that needs to be addressed over here, really. It's like we not so much got a bad name, because I wouldn't say people give us that much shit anymore, but it's like we weren't the ones that decided to go to these places.
Exactly, mate, yeah.
We are following orders to go and do it. And unfortunately, a good few of our friends and squadron members, platoon members, they didn't come home, and they need to show a bit more respect. And that sort of goes on to a point with all these fucking burnings of the statues and pulling them down, burning the flag, and it's like, and then veterans will pipe up and say, "You can't do that. We're going to go and stop it." And then all of a sudden, we're labelled as right wing, and
you can't win, mate.
We're not. We just don't want you graffitiing our memorials and burning our flag that has been draped over friends and colleagues.
It's not just a statue to us, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's so much more than just a bit of concrete with a few names on. It
represents so much more.
Yeah, mate, yeah. And like you say, unless you've been there and you've done it and you've lost those mates and whatever else, I don't think you'll ever understand. But yeah, no, it does boil down to respect in a way, I guess. And it's horrible, mate. Like clicking on the news these past few weeks, all the negativity out there that's just getting thrown out on every news channel available and every paper you pick up. It's horrendous. I mean, probably 3 days in, I thought, enough of this. It's just getting crazy. Just walked away from it, mate. It is. It's just negative. It is. You don't need it in your life, mate. You really don't.
I'm terrible for it, because if I see something that I don't agree with, I'm like, right, I'm going to have to say something. I need to have a bit more self-control on those sort of things. I was like, no, just leave it. Go and chill out. Go and have a fucking beer or something. But I'm like, no, fuck it. The amount of times that I've put a post, done a comment on someone's post, and they've gone, well, you're part of the problem, you're racist and things like that. It's like, well, no, you don't understand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying don't protest. I'm saying stop smashing up.
Yeah, it's the people who've kind of tagged along with the Black Lives Matters and whatever else that's been going on there. I completely agree that man shouldn't have died by the hands of that police officer.
I don't think anyone has said otherwise, have they?
Oh, of course not. No.
I don't think a single person has said, he was doing a good job there, standing on his neck.
It becomes racist when they say things like, a black man was killed by a white police officer.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just a man's being killed by a police officer?
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel.
And it's been like that for some time now, and that's what needs to change. But yeah, these people who've just tagged on to Black Lives Matter, which is a good, respectable organisation that wants.
Yeah, of course it is.
And I can understand the reasons behind they would want to have the marches and the protests, but yeah, everybody else who's now tagged along to that and are doing it just an excuse to hide from police and loot shops and kill other people. Like some of these videos, mate, where you've seen the shop owners trying to protect the land and protect the life's work, if you like, and they're getting mauled over and taken out with hit with skateboards and bats and that in the street, man. It's just fucking crazy, man.
It's just like people go, right, I've been locked up for ages. Fuck it. Let's just go nuts.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You live here.
It's
like
it's crazy.
I said it a few weeks ago. It's like you not agreeing with something your missus says, so you just smash up the house.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like, huh? Yeah. You're trashing your own place, your own house, towns and shit. Madness.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Just negativity, innit? That's all it is.
Yeah. And then you get that bloke over in Burnley. I don't know if you've seen that, where he paid for the plane to fly over with White Lives Matter.
On the Man City match. I've seen that.
Yeah.
He's been sacked in that though, hasn't he? He's lost his job and he
lost his job. His missus lost his job as well.
She lost it as well.
Supporting him. Yeah, but it's one of those ones that it's a tricky one because it's very insensitive, but I was sort of playing devil's advocate. You don't know if he's done it for those 3 that lost their lives in Reading during that stabbing, or if he's just being a dick. It's quite possibly the latter, but I was like, I'm not going to judge this guy until the full story comes out. He might have been going, right, they've been doing it for George. I'm going to do it for these three that have... And then all of a sudden he's now labelled racist because he flew White Lives Matter. It's like, well, where does it stop? There's a bit of hypocrisy going on at the minute.
Crazy that as well, what happened there in Reading, man, with that.
Oh, yeah.
Random attack, just started stabbing people in the neck, man. It's crazy, man. When it's on your own fucking doorstep, like it's become. I mean, it's as if it's become the norm now. You're just waiting for the.
Yeah.
I think because it hasn't been on the news because the news and that's just been overrun with coronavirus. This coronavirus that. It's barking mad, me when you switch it on. It's something like that pops up again.
Yeah,
like when will it end? It's not going to, is it? Where does it stop? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There are just people out there that want to see the world burned, don't there? Unfortunately,
pretty much.
And as long as you've got people that want to do that, you're going to have people like me and you that will stand in front, which is what people don't seem to realise. That's what veterans have done. That's what serving soldiers have done. They've gone, right, I'll protect you lot.
Enough.
Then I still remember the time. It would have been about 2010-ish, about 10 years ago, when we were told you can't wear uniform on the train and things like that, just in case. It's like, what do you mean? I should be able to wear my uniform on the train. I think it was around the time that Lee Rigby was brutally murdered.
Everyone just had a big bullseye on the back, didn't they?
Yeah.
I remember being told something similar in, I think it was 2008, 2009, where you used to get the coaches down and do range packages down south or whatever, and you always used to wear your rig and that, and you'd obviously stop at the service stations, but they put an end to that for a short time. I can't remember the reasons now. Yeah, it's mad. You wear a bit of camo and you've got a big bullseye on your back.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've never had any verbal abuse or anything like that, or anyone say. I think it's probably just the circles that I've been in that everyone's very, very much like-minded like me. Those sort of things. Try and stick to the sort of people that you get on with. You don't need to change out of it. So I've been quite lucky like that. And I remember it would have been the last Remembrance Day. I took my eldest up to the local pub just to have a little pint. I had my blazer on, medals on. I had an old boy come up to me and thank me for my service, bought me a pint. I was like, fucking hell, that's a first.
It's nice that I had that not last year because I was down in London. Year before, I went out with a few of the boys in Newcastle. Yeah. And two of the bars on Northumberland Street were actually giving away free drinks if you had your gongs on. So obviously they were rammed with shiners, bootnecks and soldiers an hour later once the word got out. But no, it was nice, mate. It'd never been done before. Certainly not at any of the more remembrance parades that I've done in Newcastle before. And I think it was just either a change of management or whatever it was. And the guy just kind of came out and just said, look, guys, as long as you can prove your service or you're wearing medals or whatever, the drinks are on me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think once Iraq and Afghan kind of, especially the publicity they got, they tried to get the public on side a lot more, didn't they? From kind of Telek, especially when Telek kicked off and the Mirror, the News of the World, the Suns and all that, and whatever else. There was a massive publicity drive, and I think they'd managed to turn a lot of the public. Because like you say, we never kind of opted or started these wars. Do you know what I mean? It was never a personal decision.
You didn't go, hey, can we go here, please?
Yeah. You'll just kind of, right, we're going there. You go because your mates are going, and that's the end of it. It's never, or for me anyway, there's never genuinely any more thought process behind it than that.
No.
I mean, the older I've got and the more wiser I've got, it might have been slightly different. But at the time when you were going, it's just like, right, we're going to Afghan. Yep. Roger. When? Yeah. It's just like, that's it. It's as simple as that. You start your training, you go because your mates are going, and you get the job done to your best of your ability. And that's all it ever was. Do I agree with them now looking back? Probably not so much.
Yeah.
We didn't really achieve anything. If anything, it's slightly worse.
Yeah. I was in the same sort of mindset during my final tour. I was putting the HQ on my final tour because they wanted to keep me safe because I'd already put my papers in to leave. And it was during what was it? There was we had the balloon up, so we were watching out in part of our AO, and they were setting up. There was a 14-year-old girl setting up IDs for the Taliban, and we obviously hit the airstrike in and blew them out. And I was like, she's 14 years old. Like, she doesn't really know what she's doing. She's probably been promised all this. Now it's not like we can go in and talk to her and sort her out. We just blew her up. And I'm like, then you go into those sort of long thoughts, especially when you've got lots of time on your hands. Like, if someone was driving through my back garden constantly in fucking tanks, I'd be pissed off as well. Yeah. It's like
100%.
Of course I would be. And then you're like, yeah, I can sort of see why they set up these fucking things to stop us doing it. Are we really helping? And it's like, oh, but when we were in CAF, we did do a good job. We got most of the Taliban out of there and all that sort of stuff. It's like, well, we did do some good. Again, one of those double-edged swords.
It is. It's looking back now, I mean, Iraq and Afghan, mate, are they any better off that we were there? Either place?
Nah.
I don't know. And it's like you say, you're right there as well. Like, you'd be threaders if you had fucking soldiers and people rolling through your back doors or down your streets on a daily basis, and fucking airstrikes coming in, and your family and little kids or whatever else getting killed in crossfires and whatever else it is. Yeah, you would. It's understandable that they're fucking pissed off with us. And like you say, mate, Iraq and Afghan, it wasn't as if we were fighting the locals. There's a lot of people there that wanted us there, but again, because of what we were doing out there and what was happening in the fucking accidental airstrikes and the civvies that caught it up, you can fucking completely understand why they're a bit pissed off.
Yeah, definitely. We found when we were in Basra that they really took to the British quite well when we were there. Like, as soon as they saw our Union flag on our arms, they were like, "Oh, British good," and then US no. Like, well, that's because they just fucking smash everything, don't they? They're supposed to be doing hearts and minds, but don't.
There's fucking no hearts and minds for you.
They just don't give a shit, do they?
Fly that flag as high as you can and fucking roll over anything in front of you.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the big things when, like I was telling that story about the airstrike, that fucking cheering that they were doing when it went off. Obviously, they're celebrating because they didn't want their mates to get fucking hit or whatever.
But at the same time, you just watch the 40-year-old girl fucking get obliterated.
Yeah, blown to pieces. Like, you saw a big group of the family coming, like, collect their body and all that, and you're like, that's actually pretty sad.
That was the hardest bits, mate. Watching the kids in that, like, especially now I'm getting older. I've got a 6-year-old girl. That suicide attack that we were involved in Afghan, in Lashkar, and the guy was stood on the side of the street, and he just detonated himself, and he had 2 little girls stood next to him at the time. Civvies in the street caught up left, right, and centre as well. Just bits of body everywhere, mate. And that's the stuff that lives with you, and you've got to take home and try and shake out your head every night. Certainly not nice. The other stuff that you go in and roll in and do your job, you can deal with your job, but
there are certain things that stick with you. Like I recall in Basra, we were I was attached to the sniper section just to help carry some of the ECM, me and another lad, and we were walking through, and we could hear all these fucking noises going off. I think our main task was to check, I think it was the petrol station or something. Keep eyes on the petrol station because there's supposed to be some sort of enemy activity going on there. So we were walking around, could hear all these funny noises, like disturbing sort of sexual noises. I mean, what the fuck's going on here? So we had to look through the fucking night sights, and there's fucking a group of grown men with a load of young, really young, some boys, some girls. And it's like, oh, they're fucking raping these kids. Can we go in and fucking sort that out? No, that's not our task. We got to continue. It's like, oh, fucking hell. So I've got to now live with the fact that these poor kids are being fucking all sorts done to them, and we're not allowed to go and do anything.
We had a very similar thing in Garmsir down in Afghan, where we got a POW shot in the leg, and they brought him back and handed him over to the Afghan police, and their compound was fucking 50 meters away from where we were. in the DC, and same noises. And you were just like kind of like, what the fuck is that, you know? And they gagged this fucking bloke, tied it on the table, and they were queued up outside playing with themselves. Queued up, and then there was 2 in a room at a time going through them. So we obviously went, booted the door down, got them out, and kept them with us. Yeah, fucking creatures, mate. Some of them creatures, and that was the Afghani police.
Yeah,
I want the Taliban.
Corrupt as well.
Smashing the back end of the Taliban.
It's having a good old time. Yeah. Is it a Thursday? Man Love Thursdays.
Man Love Thursday. Fucking hell. I've not heard that for a while.
But it's one of my mates, if he makes a he's one of those lads with no filter, and you kind of have to
They're the best kind.
Purge your phone every now and then. He sends you filth, and you're like, right, I'm gonna have to purge my phone soon. But if he says fucking anything remotely homosexual or something like that, it's like, it's fine, it's Thursday. It's like, it's not Thursday, Dan. You went, well, it is somewhere. So that doesn't make any sense, you idiot. Man Love Thursdays, it's fine.
Ollie loves a bit of Man Love Thursday.
Does he? I bet he does. For that fucking schlong that he's got.
Oh, I hope he watches this.
So what's the gem for the rest of the day for you?
I had the bike out this morning. Beautiful day here. I need to get back on the training, mate. I've been neglecting it really this past 5 days. I pulled me back last week. Probably 8-9 days ago. And like I said, I did it in January. It just doesn't seem to be getting right. I've already been told I need surgery and that, but I want to get some training crack today because I've been ploughing through the back garden, getting a level. So I'm getting a gym built. The guys are coming on Monday. I say gym. It's just a fucking big shed basically, but it's so all the gym kit. Yeah, it's just so all the gym kit can go in. But the garden's on a slope, so I've been digging into that slope the past couple of days and chucking dolomite down. And I've got a load of like industrial outdoor rubber mats coming to fill the outdoor space. So I'll still have the gym and I'll have the outdoor bit next to it. So I've still got a flat level area to train on outside as well because it's glorious here. But yeah, I'm going to nip the shops, mate. I've got a few bits I need to get and then just hit the training. Enjoy the sunshine, mate, and make the most of it. No kids today, so just get in the garden, mate, and take full advantage of the sunshine and get a bit of working out and a bit of therapy, mate. Because like I said, I've neglected it really. I've just been busy, but the page as well. Yeah. I feel bad that I haven't been posting as much as what I normally do. I set this up in November, and I've just kind of been on it every day. And the story posts are always on. There's just different content every day. This past few days, I kind of had to apologize to everybody last night in my own way on the story, and just kind of said, "Look, I'll be back on it tomorrow." Because I've just been but it needed doing. The garden needed doing before these guys turn up on Monday. So I did it. It's again through no choice of my own. I want it done. It needed doing. So,
through it, innit?
Yeah, but that's it done now. So finished. Training can resume today, and I'll roll through now the training over the weekend until Monday when the guys turn up to put this gym up.
Happy days, mate.
And just hope that everything fits. I ordered a cable crossover machine the other day, and that turned up. It wasn't meant to turn up until the 2nd of July.
Fucking hell!
That turned up yesterday. So that's now taking up pride of place in the kitchen and a stack of boxes. Squat rack turned up. I've got a little landmine thing for the floor to put the bars in that in, which showed up as well. So, yeah, the kitchen's getting pretty toppers now that the assault bike and all that's in there. So it needs to come out and have a proper home. Like.
You can fizz and prep your food at the same time, mate.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, sit on the assault bike and cook your eggs. But I'm looking forward to it all getting done, mate, and getting up and just having it up there because it's a bit of a pain in the ass having to drag everything outside and take it all out and get everything set up. It'd be much better when it's just already out there and it's good to go and it can just kind of open the door, get straight into it and crack on. Kind of said like I'm not one of them people who's seen any real negativity from the gyms being closed, mate. Because I know I've spent a fair bit of cash getting this kind of setup that I've got, but that's just because I was down in London for that 6 weeks and we didn't have anything. And I wanted to get people up as the lockdowns easing. I said to people, look, if you need some therapy with the training side of life, or you just want to come and smash through a circuit, the kit's here. Like I know the gyms are going to be shut for a while yet, so that offer's still on the table to anybody. Obviously, with in close proximity to the northeast anyway. Kit's there. Come and have a session. Come and have a chat. Come and have whatever you need. You know what I mean? If you don't want to get put through your paces in the circuit, tell me what you want to do, or just use the kit if you want. But yeah, it's just trying to give a little back, mate. Do you know what I mean? I've needed help. Found a massive help in the fitness side of life with coping and using it as a coping mechanism. And I'm not the only one, it seems, and hundreds and thousands of people out there who are exactly the same, mate. And if I can help them through this, then
like exactly what we said at the start. Fitness and mental health go hand in hand. It's like a lot of people should know that when you do train, you do release those positive endorphins throughout your body. That's why you should be doing it. Like we said, go for a fucking nice day. Go for a fucking walk. Stop sitting on your ass in your fucking living room, wanking yourself to death. Go out and have a fucking walk or something.
Then come back and do that. Yeah,
then go back and fucking wank yourself into a coma. My big thing is I'm enjoying going out on my bike at the minute. I've got quite a decent road bike, so it's been nice, like just getting out on the fucking road. I think I did. It was 27k. I could have gone for longer, but my missus was like, "Where the fuck are you?" Sorry, I'm on my way. But it was just nice, just getting out. I did 27k. I wasn't fucking overly exerting myself. I wasn't blowing too hard. I was like, I could probably keep going if I wanted. Get my little legs fucking pumping.
Like you say, mate, especially when the weather's how it is now, it's rude not to go outside and enjoy the outdoors, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Through the kettlebells yesterday in the morning. I did all the garden work yesterday morning. I was like, fuck it, throw a big Bertha about my 24s. Give them a little fucking throw.
Cheeky bits of kit then.
Yeah, I do like my kettles. One of them was a birthday present from the missus, which was quite funny, seeing her trying to carry that into the house. And then the other one, luckily, because I only had 124, and I was like, I could do with another one, but I don't really want to fucking pay for it. Back in my old job, I used to do the cash and transit stuff, carrying the money in the box. And in our little crew room, there was one fucking there, and I was getting ready to leave to start my surveillance work, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking have that. Trying to sneak out of a fucking.
So you stole it?
Yeah, I nicked it, mate. Yeah. Trying to sneak that out was quite hard work.
You just stick it in your pocket, is it?
No, it was like under my shirt somehow, and I was sort of like cradling it. Luckily, there wasn't many people about, but I was like, "Fucking, this is." Why not? I should have just walked out with it. Nobody would have said it.
Yeah. What did you carry a bag, man? Would have just let you hold the carrier bag?
Yeah.
What about you then? What are you doing for the rest of the day?
I'm meeting up with a good buddy of mine, Dan. We're going down. I think the girls, my daughters and my missus and his two sons. I think that one of the pubs is doing really nice milkshakes. They do fucking Oreos and all that shit.
Nice.
So I think we're gonna have a couple of beers because they do take out beers as well. Let the kids go run about in the fucking park area. All equally spaced.
Abiding by the rules.
Yeah. Funny.
No, I'm looking forward to this, getting some normality back, mate.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually enjoying it at work because work isn't quite as fucking hectic. Yeah. But work is also fucking annoying at the minute because 1 minute you're off doing your patrol tour around the site, making sure everything's all right. Then you're called away to open up a building because one of the tenants wants to get in. You're like, fucking hell. And then you're back doing it. And you're back and forth all the time. You're like, could you not just phone us up the night before and say, right, we're going to be at this time? And it's all fucking. I like a bit of structure.
Too easy.
It's all fucking scheduled. It's all fucking there. I don't like change.
I'm the same. I definitely need structure in my life. I'd go insane if I didn't have any structure and routine. I think there's definitely some positives we can take away from this virus, though, as well. At the same time, I mean, it's made people a lot more appreciative of what you had and what you've got.
100%.
Even just people in your life, family, loved ones, whatever it is. This just being trapped inside four walls and trapped inside your own head. I think people are definitely a lot more appreciative of life in general. And I don't think we'll ever see what we called normal again. To be honest, it'll be a new normal that we've got to adapt to. They're saying on that Boris Johnson thing was kind of like, oh, you can now stand. Is it a meter?
Yeah.
I mean, when do you ever go to the park or wherever and stand closer than a meter to anybody anyway?
Yeah, it's a good
like
point.
a stranger, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're
not
not.
all right,
You
he's on
don't
the
tend to
park
go in
bench over
people's
there.
personal
You
space.
do it there, though,
Yeah.
do you know? Like, I never realised that. Yeah, all right, yeah. Keep that meter then. Let's just keep that as a rule because I don't want someone there.
Hey, get out of my face. 100% agree with you there, mate. And little things as well, like we sort of took for granted that we pretty much live around the corner from my missus's family, like all of them.
Yeah.
Cousins, aunties, uncles, grandparents. My family are all over in Hereford, so that's sort of that is what it is. I'm used to not seeing them really. Although I've been in more contact with them since, which is strange. Like me and my brother usually do the show semi together. He's sort of doing his own project now, but he comes on the show quite regularly to have a little chat. So it's sort of our little thing. So we've always been in good comms. But chatting with me, old man, that's been nice. He's like every Thursday there's a fucking virtual quiz that we all do.
Man Love Thursday.
We all meet up, start on the Man Love Thursdays. So we set up that, do our fucking quiz. It's like, and then on Sundays with the missus's family, usually we'd be round her mum and dad's having Sunday dinner or whatever. But now it's like 6:30, we'll start the family quiz that her auntie does. It's like, well, we should probably do this anyway.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, I think people will. I think people will continue it on. I certainly hope they do. There's certainly a lot of things I'm going to take out of this and continue on. Because it is. It does just make you a lot more appreciative of it all.
100%, mate. It's makes you appreciate the things that you've got as well. Like, especially when it all fucking kicked off and everyone went nuts for toilet paper and things like that.
Oh,
like,
what was that one?
I don't know. What was that about? It was like, what are you doing? Like, you've clearly not been in any sort of survival situation. I know I'm going for the toilet roll. Why? You could, if anything, just fucking have a quick shower if you need to fucking clean yourself that badly. But it's like, then they all suddenly turned Italian and went for pasta as well.
I think people just must have thought they were going to get locked up in their own house and not let out for a fucking long time. Yeah. But yeah, crazy, mate.
That's pretty much how it sounded, though.
Yeah, yeah. I do get that, yeah. Crazy. Like London, when this first happened in London, that's like I said before, I spent the initial 6 weeks of this down there. And you had polar opposites. You had people who would literally avoid you like the plague in the supermarkets. And they'd be there with their masks or their T-shirt or their scarf around their head. And they'd be dubious about coming down the same aisle as you or coming anywhere near you because it was as if you had the virus. But then you had people who were the complete opposite, who you'd be like looking at the freaking cheese or something, and then this arm would come past you, like brush past your nose to grab something past you on the shot. It's like the complete opposites out there, man. Like Tesco's not, London, man. It's like a little
London is a strange place, though, I feel. Strange old place, London, I feel.
Oh, definitely, mate. Yeah, it is
so diverse. Like,
big time, yeah.
If I'm honest, I hate the place.
I'm not a massive fan, mate. I couldn't live there. I worked there, and normality for me is a week on, week off down in there. We did that 6 weeks because just had to restructure it for the lockdown and for everything else with work. And I've been home since then. Now I'm looking at least another month off before heading back down, and I think we are looking at getting normality kind of back into the routine for work, where it's back into a week on, week off. But yeah, a week down there for me is ample before I need a week back home into what our class is normality. And Newcastle, I mean, I live in Newcastle, just outside Newcastle, and Newcastle's a major city. It's a massive, major, busy city. But it's like pure peace when you come back here compared to the tubes and that down in London, mate. Like it's just honking. It is. It's honking.
Yeah, they're very ignorant. I feel in London as well. They're very rude, and they've all got an opinion. It's just fucking annoying.
It's too busy for me. It is too busy.
I had to work there a few times doing the surveillance work, and trying to follow people in London is quite difficult.
It is.
And especially if they know where they're going and you're just following them, you're like, fuck, this is mental. But yeah, especially if you're on if you're tailing them in the vehicle, it's fucking so hard.
Pointless driving in London. It's pointless. Yeah. You're better off getting out and walking in London. I mean, the public transport, it's good. Mate. It is a great system that they've got down there. And if you hit it at the right time of day, you can be lucky. But you get on one of those tubes or on a bus or whatever at the wrong time of day, and it's just carnage, man. Just sweat boxes. I can imagine it's pretty much how that shed feels right now.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad at the minute. I must have just got used to it throughout this fucking 50 minutes that we've been doing it. Because when I first got in here, I was just setting up the laptop, setting up on my little. I got a little ice bucket here for me fucking Coke, and I was dripping. I was like, "This is." I don't know how long I can be able to stay in here, but it's like I've acclimatized to it. My own little fob in here.
That's a nice setup you got there, isn't it?
Yeah, I do love my shed. It's annoying though because it's still a shed, so I've still got like my lawnmower and that in here. I try and hide shit so it still looks like my space. I've got our tumble dryer and our old dishwasher and shit in here as well. It's like it's just fucking in the way. Could have so much more space, so much more room for activities. But yeah, it was actually part of the negotiation when we bought the house from the previous owners. He was like, "Well, I'll be taking my shed." And I was like, "You won't be taking your shed. I'm having your shed.
I need it.
Yeah. As soon as I got it, I was like, "Yeah." Started off with just my where I'd put all my fucking military kit, all my shit that I kept over the years. I mean, because it's not allowed in the house because it's not the right colours. It doesn't go with this, and then I set up I started setting up the old podcast, which is sort of on its way up now. Now I've got a laptop, I've got a microphone, I've got the fucking headset that doesn't work at the minute. But I literally started off. It was literally just through my iPhone, and then it was through my iPhone and the iPad, and now it's sort of it's good.
Good.
And I like to hold this in fucking as high as I can because I've done all this without any sort of sponsorship or funding from anyone. So this is all me. So I'm gonna be the English Joe Rogan. This is all me. I'm going to sell myself to Spotify for $100 million or whatever he went for.
Good effort. You're doing well, mate.
Yeah, I like to keep it sort of unedited as well. So I've only had one really bad episode that is now in the archive that probably won't be released. I won't mention his name, but he was a former Marine as well. Right. It was. If we weren't talking about him, he didn't really want to converse properly, and it was very awkward, the whole thing. And it was like, all right. I heard you're a fucking decent bloke for a lot of mutual friends on fucking Instagram and things, and you've just come across a bit of a dickhead, unfortunately. But
not great.
Yeah. It's like I even tried to like get a little bit of banter out of it. Like, cause obviously I'm RAF Reg, the most hated regiment in the whole of the military. He was a former Marine. I thought he would give me a bit of shit. I even tried. I was like, "Oh, you couldn't pass the 5 mile of death or something like that." And there was just nothing. I was like, "Come on, give me something." We're part of the big three. But yeah, there was no banter, no military banter at all. I was like, can't be bothered with this.
Yeah, not ideal, mate. Never mind.
It happens. You always get
I get that.
a few, don't you? But the majority I've had have been fucking brilliant. Like from Mason Jones to yourself, Liz Carmouche over in America, Josh Bridges. He was a good one to talk to. He knows his shit as well.
bet.
Pay the man. Pay the man.
I think what you do though, mate, I think this is the best way of doing it anyway. You just kind of turn it on, right, good to go, record, and then you just go into it. I think it's you get that raw, like you say, that raw, unedited version of everybody, don't you?
Yeah. And I used to set up notes and what have you, and have specific topics that I was going to bring up and things like that. And I thought it's not really organic that way, like me going, right, so what are you going to do today?
Yeah.
It's like, if it flows into that, then we'll flow into that. If it doesn't,
too scripted, isn't it, mate? It's not a movie.
Yeah. When I have my brother on there, he tends to have a few. We get this sort of idea from another podcast I listen to called The Fighter and the Kid, where they have sort of the news sort of going through their phone, like hot topics, and then you'd ask me a question, like it'd be like, you wouldn't give me a heads up or anything, so it'd be like, Tommo, what's this? What do you think of this? And then because I'm very raw and unfiltered myself, a lot of things that come out of my mouth are quite
offensive.
Yeah, sensitive, and probably should be censored. Especially when it goes along the lines of like transgender and things like that. He's like, mate, you're going to get banned from. I'm like, well, if they ban me, they ban me, did they? It's my opinion. Then I come out with a thing. It's my podcast. I do what I want. But yeah, it's all good, and I'm enjoying it. And
good. It's the main thing, mate.
It's like it helped me no end, to be fair. That and actually coming to grips with the fact that I had mental health issues. I'm not going to call it problems, though, so I prefer issues. So it took me a while to actually accept it, but as soon as I did, like I had my blip a couple of months back or so, where I was not in a good place. Like I wasn't really recording much on here. I was taking everything out on the missus. Wasn't fizzing, which was a big thing as well. And then, had a good chat with the missus. Had a good chat with my brother. Back on the right track. Started fizzing, getting out on the bike again.
Sometimes that's all it is, mate. Not sometimes, all the time, mate. If you ever have that blip, it's so much better getting it off your chest and getting it out there. I learned that the hard way, mate. I just bottled things up, and until the point, everything just imploded. And I had no choice but to seek help and speak about it and talk it through. And it's the best thing I ever did, mate. And one of the reasons I started this club as well, mate, is having that focus for me and using my coping mechanisms, using the training that I do to be able to help other people and give other people a focus. Because sometimes that is all you need, something to focus on, whether it is your training or not, whether it's your podcast, what you do, whether it's whatever it is in life that you've got. As long as you've got your reason why and you're happy with it. And like this for me, I find massive peace for myself in being able to help others. Still get messages on a daily basis from people who I talk to, and just being able to talk them down from the edge and bring them back to earth and reason with people. I mean, don't get us wrong, I'm by no means a mental health practitioner, but people are aware of that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor. Sometimes they just want that fucking just to get it out and to have somebody to talk to.
Totally agree there.
And it's the only way. It's certainly the first step you've got to take, and admitting it to yourself, admitting that you've got issues. I always believed that as a bloke you shouldn't be kind of vulnerable, especially being a bootneck and commando and forces and whatever else. You shouldn't be. Blokes aren't vulnerable, and again, it's just this wrong stigma behind it all, and this wrong
100%.
portrayal of
you're a bloke. You're a bloke. If you show emotion, you're weak. It's like, well, it's actually not the case.
Completely opposite, mate. Completely opposite.
100%. I was exactly the same. Like, I've said the story fucking countless times, and I even got shit from people that were in my own regiment that I've gone through too many times. But like I would very much move myself away when I was bottling myself up. Like I wouldn't show. I would release it in anger, and it was tend to be at my daughters. Unfortunately, I'm very quick tempered anyway. But it would be like they would drop something on the floor. Next thing, I'm fucking shouting at them for dropping a fucking sausage on the floor or something. It's like, and then it's not until afterwards you're like, why am I doing that? And then I refused to show them any sort of emotion. If I was upset or anything like that, I would take myself away. They can't see Daddy is upset. Daddy's a strong one in the family. All this, and it wasn't. And I mentioned it a number of times. It wasn't until I was like at my lowest when I was in the fucking kitchen on my fucking knees, fucking crying, and my oldest daughter came in because my missus was at work. She came downstairs, wiped the tears from my eyes, and went, "It's okay, Daddy. I'm here for you." And it's like, fucking hell. But now I try and obviously I try and stay as strong as I can. If there's things bothering me, then I'll go and speak to someone. But I've tried to tell them that it's okay to. Obviously, they're girls, so they're quite sensitive and things like that. Anyway, and I was, especially my eldest, she's very good at articulating herself. So if she's really down and upset, she's very good at
put it across well.
She puts it across well, but fuck me, she doesn't shut up sometimes though. Like, rein it in a little bit. It takes 6 years to tell you a story. But yeah, she's a good sausage. My youngest though, she's very similar to me in the way that she's very sarcastic and dry and she's quite quick-witted. She's more quick-witted than I am. It takes me about 8 years to come back with a reply. But yeah, she's brilliant. And I can see it now when I get older. My eldest daughter will be the one that gets heartbroken by a bloke, and my youngest will be the one that's kicking him in the fucking face or something. Yeah. That's how it's going to be.
Six now, man, and 6 going on 17, man. It's scary. She's got an older sister that she obviously adores and looks up to. But I say she's 6, but she tries to mimic everything a 16-year-old sister did. And she's 6 going on 17. She's got to be hard work. She's brilliant at the minute. She's just a little daddy's girl at the minute. But I'm petrified of when she starts understanding boys and the real world, if you like. Petrifies me.
Yeah, my eldest will be 9 on Monday, and she's becoming a young lady, shall we say. Little things are starting to change and develop. But the main thing that we've noticed is her hormones are fucking all over the place. 1 minute she's fucking pissing herself laughing, the next minute she's in tears, next minute she's fighting with her sister for no reason. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then I think to myself, so I'm going to have the missus and both my daughters at some point. I'm just going to be living in my shed, I think. I'm like, I can't be dealing with this.
5 days a month in the shed.
Yeah. Take myself off to the gym. Where are you going? I need some of my own tensions released. Brilliant. Well, mate, I'm not going to take up much more of your time. Been a fucking awesome chat, to be fair, mate.
You too, man.
I'll have to get both you and Ollie on at some point.
I will do that, mate. Once we get some normality back, he'd be happy to do it. I know that.
Yeah, get you both on. I'm quite lucky in the way that I get my guests on, because I'd always do it through Skype. Unless they live closely and they want to come in this fucking sauna, then they can. But yeah, I try and get most of them on Skype, because then it doesn't matter where you are in the world, I can ping you on. But yeah, mate, it's been a fucking interesting chat with you. It's been really good.
Well, that's, mate. Thanks for having us. Thanks for getting in touch, mate, and reaching out. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, mate, anytime. And I'll be sure to share a lot of your posts and things like that, and get you guys a bit more notoriety as well, because what you guys are doing in the gym and that is brilliant. And like we've said throughout the whole thing, you know, it goes hand in hand. Fucking good physical fitness and good mental health. Fucking Ricky Gervais style.
Like, it does, mate. Like you say, just trying to give a little bit back, mate. That's all it is. Some people think I neglect to look after me occasionally, but I genuinely do find my peace in this and in helping others.
Every day.
And if I can do it through this page and through this club, mate, fucking bonus. Because it's hard, mate, watching people struggle. What other people must have been looking at and putting up with when I was struggling and bottling it away and not dealing with it, compared to now, I must be polar opposite. I must be to look at and to see attitude and everything. Mate. Just trying to give a little bit back, mate, and say thank you in a way, I guess.
Yeah, just fucking doing wonders, mate. Doing wonders. Fucking awesome job. Sweet, mate. Well, I'll catch you again soon.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Cheers for coming on.
All right, mate. Catch you later.
days, mate. In a bit.
Bye.